Okay. Like yesterday we talked about here, like yes, correct. Auto created PO. Then after that, like match approval, open PO. Then after that, link between. Perfect. Only these 4 points we discussed, and as well as invoice creation. Receipt PO and receipt also. You want receipt and receipt creation. These are all the main points we covered, and as well as invoice. Okay. So now submit this.
Invoice, I'm not clear that invoice was the receipt.
Yeah, invoice it will create automatically by using a payables open interface imported. We'll take that invoice now. Here is a place you can query that program, that is payables open interface to import this. Okay, so someone has already worked. We need to check based on the date or something. Okay, let's say only few. I'm just checking this randomly. I need to know when we created this. I think 7th November. Not that, right? Yeah. Is that correct? I think no one is practiced. P2P. We have to do regular practice. Whatever I created, that invoice only there in the system. I think you did not touch at all. It's not good. This is the invoice number. Okay. So take this invoice number. What I will do, I'll just save. Okay. Otherwise, we need to search every time. And this invoice number will take. Now go to invoices. Inquiry also we can do. Inquiry just for searching, but we have to do some operations. So go to directly invoices, entry, and then invoices. This is the navigator. It is for manual invoice. Okay, but in yesterday class we already created invoice. This is an automatically created. This is the invoice. Okay. Now go to lines here. You can see there are some taxation also created. So as soon as you create invoice, your next step will be your status. Okay. Now go to validation. We have to validate the invoice. Validation means like currency terms. Are there any extra amount here? Tax amounts, currencies, payment currencies, invoice currencies. So all the information we can see. So there are some more fields also here. Folder, show fields. So if you want to see some other extra fields also available here, let's say requester is active or not. Right now there is no requester. Not only few fields here, there are some extra fields also there in this form. Go to folder, there is a show field. Okay, these many fields are there in this form. They are all hidden actually, not exactly hidden, but there is no space here. Okay, so now to do a validation, we can go to actions here. then there is a validate button. There are two ways to validate. One way is this one, validate. I'll tell you other way after this. So it is straight away validated. Whenever line amount is 6,255, 255, these are all. If line amount matches with the header amount, then there will not be any issue with the status. So it is validated right now. You may get sometimes, for example, I'm putting this invoice on hold here. A manual hold it is. There are two holds. Let's say matching required, for example, our invoice. Just read properly, like anything tax variance, for example, you found as a tax variance. I'm putting this invoice on hold. Now, if you go back here, see your invoice status is changed here. So earlier it was validated. Now it is a needs revalidation. So this hold you can release. There is an option here. There is a release button here. This is a button in the form. Click on release. I'm releasing this quickly. So the moment you click on LOV, it will pop up automatically. Click on OK. Now if you go here, again, the status is validated. Two statuses we have seen here. So the status field, straight away you cannot derive. So as per the record history, it is saying here, help and record history. The table name is AP invoices, but it will not be available in this table. Okay, so we have to call one package. This calling is enough. The table name AP invoices. Here it is showing a V, but we should not take a V. V is a view. View doesn't hold data. So to hold the data, underscore all is required. Underscore all for all operating units. Take this invoice number. This is the invoice. In this invoice, you will not be able to see this particular status. That's why it is a very good question. So how to derive the status? If you go here, you will not be able to see. Okay. So to see that, there is a package required. That is AP invoices utility. This is a package name. Okay. AP invoices utility PKG. It went to green color here. Okay. So as of now, if you type wrongly, then it will not highlight at all. The standard which is available in the database, to highlight it, you have to type fully. AP invoices utility. Utility means like all the common operations will be available here. Anyone can use it. Dot. You press dot, it will list out all the procedures, functions behind it. So there are so many functions. Oracle only given for us. You don't need to touch anything, but I mean to say modification. Straight away we can take here. You read this procedure, see, or else like press F4. This is also better visibility. Now you can see. It's a very big package, more than 10,000 lines. It's entire package. I think this is 4,000. Okay. There are other packages which are more than 10,000 lines, but we won't use all those. Only individual functions we'll use. So right now here, get approval status. By reading also you can come to know. Or if still if you have a doubt, little go up. See, I'm just going up here. Now you can see that. Read this commented portion. Read once. This values also you have to remember. Interviewers will focus more on these values. Okay. So right now we'll talk about invoice, not with the payment. Okay, payment is the next step. So invoices, there are 4 values only fixed here. Invoice status is approved, but in this case it is validated. We have to decode this. Okay, decode our case. There are 2 options are there in SQL. Now needs reapproval. So we have seen a status here. Do you remember other than this, what is the status we have seen?
Revalidation.
Correct. Needs revalidation. If you get the value as a needs reapproval, we have to replace that. Okay, that's called as a decode or case we can use. So this function we can call. So in this function, it will expect the input parameter. IN means input it is, and these are all mandatory only, not optional. If optional, there will be a default depopulated values will be there here.
So these are return type, no?
Yes, input parameters, input and mandatory parameters. So some packages, optional parameters also will be there. I'm just checking, are there any optional parameters? See, can you see here? If you don't pass reporting ledger ID as an input parameter, also no worries, because there is a value here that is default. Default, not only null, you can pass any value. So there are two parameters here. One is mandatory parameter, other one is optional. Optional parameter. How we can pass parameters as an optional? By using a keyword that is default. Okay. Now go to our package. Tell me what is our function name. Read here. Get approval status. So it is expecting invoice ID as an input argument, invoice amount, payment. Payment is completed or not. As of now, payment is not yet completed. And invoice type lookup code. So what type of the invoice it is? Right now it is standard invoice. Invoice amount. Standard type we have to pass as a parameter, and then invoice amount, and there is one more payment. So payment is also not done as of now. Okay, there is a void also. If you want to put in payment on hold, we can use void. This terminology you have to remember, void. To put invoice on hold, there is a hold tab here. Okay. So now if you go back, remember all you have to pass in a sequence. You should not misplace all this. Invoice ID is the primary key of your table. Invoice amount and payment status type lookup code. Okay. So now tell me here. Tell me the function name. Right, correct. Get. You should not say get underscore underscore approval underscore status. Underscore no need to mention in Oracle apps. Okay. Simply you have to say AP install. That's it. Tell me sequence. First value is ID. Then type lookup code is last itself. Correct? No. Still, if you have a doubt at any point of time, press F4. If you are still lazy, then no worries. You can copy paste. Okay. This is also a better way instead of typing. This L is local variable in this case. We don't require that. Invoice type lookup code. That's it. So all the columns are coming from this particular table only. Okay. Now you execute this. The status is here. Approved. Status. Put alias so that you can see like this. Alias is required. And Shift Control F. It will be aligned in a proper way. But we don't require this approved actually. We should say as a validated. So definitely there is a decode function. These are all functions in SQL. So if you don't know as of now, no worries. You can just go through here. Okay. Decode is a built-in function. Decode in Oracle. Decode may be available in other languages. I'm not sure, but here just if then else logic. You can go practice 2-3 examples. You will come to know. Okay. Decode function, just like a decode of 1, 1 column name. The bank ID is 001, it's SBI Bank, it's 002, ICICI Bank, like that. Just if then else logic. Decode is a built-in function it is. Or it is equivalent to if then else logic. You can use case also for this. case. Case is, yeah. Switch case is different, but this case is different. SQL case expression. Case is not a function, remember, it's an expression, okay? Not only for equality operator, we can use it for all the logical operators. See, logical operators, relational operators, greater than, less than, between, and. Now, how to use it here is simply I'm using decode of. Whenever you're opening parentheses and all, you have to be careful. Remove, comma. We opened here the parentheses. If you just select this, it has to highlight here. For example, here I am selecting C. Can you see it is highlighted, right? So outer also you have to close like this. Now if you select it, see, outer parenthesis. Now what is the value we received here? Well, approved, right? Approved we have to replace as, there is a value. The value here is validated. That's it. Now here if you want, you can put alias like this. Okay. And there are other values also. So tell me what are the other values. Press F4. So if you get needs reapproval, copy along with the code. If it is a needs reapproval, what should be the value? Needs. Right, perfect. So like this, right now validated only, that's why it is not firing. And after this, again, you have to format it. Now it's easy. The output of this is this, we have to replace. And the output of this package is needs reapproval. We have to do with the needs revalidation. Just put in a hold mode again. I'm just randomly selecting one reason. Okay. Now if you go here, needs, and you have to make sure it's working or not. You have to double check everything. And there is one more. Just check. What is the other value? Never approved. Okay. Never approved. When you will get this is, if you try to create an invoice, never validated it is. I'm taking other value. I'll just create one more manual invoice. This straight away is showing correct by default. So I'm selecting, I'm trying to create a manual invoice. Invoice not only originated from purchase order, it will be manual also, or it will be from third party system also. So as of now, your invoice is yet never validated. So copy this. Now try to see this particular invoice number. 333. Yeah, correct. You have copied the same thing, right? The case construct never validated. Okay. So this is the way we can use this package. So as of now, only one point we discussed. One is invoice creation and its table name. Yeah, validation. Table name is AP invoices all. There are two more tables here. One is lines table, holds table also there. Okay. So I'm putting query mode. I would like to go with the old invoice only, whichever we created. Invoice, sorry, You have to place the cursor here, then only it will show. Invoice lines all. And then other one is distributions. There is AP invoice distributions. Overall 3 tables here. In the distribution level, we can see there is a PO number here, 6846. Okay, this PO number we should display here. There's another query here, that is link between PO and invoice. Also very important. So we made a join here at distribution level, like AP. 1 second, guys. Hello. Yes, sir. Like internet is not working actually. Like sorry guys, I was on a mute. So now the question is here, like link between PO and invoice. Okay. So always numbers are available in header level. Okay, PO number is available in header table, and invoice number is available in header table. Invoice number, where exactly it is? If you go here, invoice number is here. Header table is what it is. Yeah, AP invoices, all it is. Even though there is no header, but this is a header portion it is. Okay. Now go to the code here. Already table is there, AP invoice all. So you can put alias name as a AIA, and other one is AP invoice distributions all. AIDA. The primary key of first table I already told you, that is invoice ID, correct? Invoice ID is equivalent to AIDA dot invoice ID. Okay, but we require a PO number. PO number is available in PO headers all, PHA. So I'm taking here the status I don't require, I'm removing, guys. Okay, remove that so that it will be easy for you. Segment 1, that's a PO number, and AIA dot invoice number. Okay, but here the join is at distribution level. If you go to distribution, they made a join, PO join at the distribution level it is. So definitely you need to add a PO distribution salt table. But the way of joining tables also matters here. If you add here, then there will be little impact. I am adding here. First distribution level we have to use. PO distribution salt, PDA. Even this invoice are also we can add later. Okay, it has to filter based on the distribution first, then later PO table or invoice table, whatever it is. If it is having 2-3 lakhs records, while retrieving the data, there will be an impact here. So first we have to add distribution level, then line level, then header level. Okay, remember this, the way of adding the tables. So you should not use PO headers all here or AP invoice all here like that. Okay, this is the correct way of adding tables here for better performance. Fine. When formatted. What are the joins missed in this? Tell me. First join is the join between these two. Go to ETRM only. The table name here is PO distribution. Click on this, and we are looking foreign table is AP invoice distributions also. Straight away it is showing clearly that is PO distribution ID. Okay. Now tell me the join how to write. Tell me. AIDA dot PO distribution ID is equivalent to PDA dot. Perfect. That's it. And what else pending here? The join between PO distribution solve and PO header solve. That is a pending. But you know already. Primary key of first table, that is PO header ID. That's it. So this is wrong actually. This is the invoice number. Now you can see why 4 rows means there are tax lines also there. So we have a line type here. One is city tax, central tax, like that. Taxation tax lines are there here. So we can take type is item here in the line level so that we can see only one record. But we have overall taxes are there. One is country tax, city tax, state tax, like that. Okay. Go to distribution. It's a non-recoverable tax. It is. So this functionality you don't need to know much because you are simply a technical. There are various types of taxes, non-recoverable, city tax, central tax, percentage and all. We are not aware. Okay. We don't need to know much. This is also not recoverable only. Okay. Now another question here is how to display open invoices. As of now, we have seen open sales order, open purchase order, open requisition, like that. Here also, how we can say whether it is a invoice is open or not is by using a payment status. There is a column name here. Check payment. Payment method is different. Yes. This is the one. This is the correct column. You can have a column descriptions also. Oracle only given the complete column descriptions here. We go back here. AP invoices all. We click more. Just read the description here. Just check. Can you read here? You will come to know the values also. See, we may not know like on which topic they will focus, on which values they will ask. Each and every point, whatever I'm telling, important only because I faced many interviews. The flag that indicates if invoice has been paid or not. As of now, we have not paid. Okay, and possible values only three. One is not yet paid, other one is paid, and one is partially paid. Okay, so supplier send us the invoice of some amount, let's say $6,000 something. We may pay in installment by some time. So at that time, the value will be there is a value that is P for partially paid. Okay. So we can understand like that. The payment status flag will have a 3 values. Yes, no, another one is P for partially paid. Now to display the open invoices, the where condition must be here, where your flag, payment status flag must be 2 values. Okay, 2 values, what are they? Yes, in, not yet paid, not paid, and one more is partially paid. So two values really required here in the where condition. So if you want to display all the open invoices, then this condition you have to give to your database. Go to tool. So I'm just for timing, I'm deleting this condition because I wanted to know all the open invoices in our system. So overall, these many open invoices, 47,000 open invoices. And if you wanted to look for one particular RKID, so 15,000 open invoices. Okay. So that they can give a reminders to the suppliers or to the business team to pay and all. It will help you to identify pending payments. This open invoice. Whatever the scenarios we are discussing, these are all we'll use in reports. Okay. So till now, how many points we covered? One is invoice and its tables. There are 2 tables, 3 tables, right? AP invoice, lines of AP invoice, distribution solve. Then validation, we missed one more. To validate the invoice, there is another method also there. That's a program. That is, sorry. Invoice validation it is. Yeah, this is the program. So not only go to action button, click on validate. If you want to validate group of invoices, then you can go to the validate invoice validation. And I'm giving your operating unit. Then options, like all the lines you wanted to validate, yes. And so date. Since last week, if you want to validate, let's say there are 100 invoices. If you want to validate all the 100 invoices since last 1 week, then you have to give your dates here from date and to date. Or for a particular supplier, if there are 100 invoices, okay, then you have to select supplier here, and then you can validate a specific invoice also available. I feel this is a good option actually, instead of doing single action button and validation. Of course, both will use. If it is a single, you can go to actions and validate. If there are multiple invoices needs to be validated, we have a program. So what is the program name? Go to view, requests, program name, invoice validation. Okay. By using this program, we can do. In how many ways we can validate? 2 ways. Okay. Invoice validation. Other one is action, or else simply we can say invoice workbench. This is called as a workbench. People will use the terminology. This is called as a workbench. Okay. And then link between PO and invoice and invoices, open invoices is a condition. So next step is create accounting. So create accounting means like there is another option here, create accounting. So we have 3 options here. If you want to post finally, it will transfer, it will create journal entries and it will post it. So, but here final we'll use. If you use a draft, then again we have to do everything manually. Go with the final here. Click on OK. Accounting has been successfully created. The created accounts we can see into, there is a report here, a view accounting. In O2C also we have seen accounting entries. So do you remember what are the accounting entries for invoice, for receipt? You have to remember all those, okay? And here accounting entries for invoice is accrual account, liability, just names try to remember, non-recoverable tax, these are all called as an accounting entries. Functional consultant will take care of those, but we should know at least names. What is a debit account? Name, credit account name. The debit account name here, DR is a debit. Accrual. And credit account is, there are two things. One is liability. One more is, there may be multiple, but these are all regular. Okay. These names you must remember. Accounting entries. And these are all information is stored in tables. The tables you can go to about this page here. This is not a form, it's a page here. OA framework page. That's why there is a URL here. In case of a normal form, there is no URL. That's the difference. Okay. Now go to about this page. Then business component reference details. These are all the views. These are all the way of terminology you are going to learn. Let's say I'm clicking on this. Take this query, like this, just double click simply. Copy. Go to top. Take one new tab. And then paste. Shift control F. So it's a 150 lines code select statement. All the columns they have selected, some packages like earlier. Right now tables are this. These are all tables. XLA means subledger accounting. Before transferring to the GL, these are all the tables. Every stage tables are important. Okay. There are few more tables not covered in this. I'll type it. That is XLA distribution links. XLA events covered. Okay, yes, only one table is not covered. These 5 tables try to remember for accounting. Okay. Now next is you have to make a payment. So to make a payment, there are two ways. One way is workbench. This is called the workbench. And the other way is there is a navigation separate. You can see somewhere here payment screen. This one. Okay. So now I am going to actions here. Then pay in full is disabled. Why it is like that? Okay, it's needs revalidation, right? We haven't validated again. Release that. Save, not required. Validated, accounted, both done. Now next payment will be available here. Let's say pay in full. So if you want to make partial payments, then that navigation we have to go. But here it is a full payment. It is. So you will not have a control here. See, you will not be able to make as a 4,000, 5,000 like that. Now, bank account here is other accounts are issues. Take this disbursement account for time being. And payment method is check here. Payment document number. Then save. The moment you click on save, it will pick all the invoice number from the workbench. Okay. Now there are two tables behind this. One is AP checks all. Other one is AP invoice payments all. Okay, two tables. For payment, there are only two tables. Here also there is another query will come here, that is link between invoice and check. You can invoice number where it is available, AP invoice, all right?
Yeah.
So obviously we have to combine three tables here. We go to the query, to this query, okay, we can add one more table. I'm removing this pivot tables for time being. Table name, distribution table also we don't require, right? Okay, and type fresh, that is better. AP, checks on. AP invoice, payments all, right? One more, AP invoices all. It's very easy, right? Now queries you are habituated, it seems. Check ID. Many people will struggle with the query preparation only, but queries are interesting actually. If it is not coming properly means check ID. It is not coming, right? Yeah, you're done. Invoice ID. Okay, both I have. That's why it is not taken earlier. AIPA. ACA dot check ID. Okay, double note, sorry. Okay, your check number is 18. Check 18 are correct or not. Document number is a check number. Okay, 18 it is. And we can put this payment on hold. There is a void here. Void. Go to hold. Void means hold only. But if you select void, then it may give error saying that the payment, read this, you will come to know. Can you read message? Okay, I'm not adding at this moment. Okay, otherwise I need to create again invoice payment and all. Okay, and accounting is here also unprocessed. Go to actions and create accounting. Final option and final post also I can do. No worries. But I just wanted to show you how the journal import process will be called automatically. Accounting has been successfully created. View or else tools view accounting. You'll be able to see the accounting entries over here, but accounting entries got changed now. Liability account earlier it was a credit, now it has become a debit. And cash clearance account is a credit, discount is a credit. Clear? So these three names we have to remember. If you see here, debit and credit. After making a payment, the credit will become a debit now, liability account. Then credit account, that is cash clearance account, One more entry, what is that? Discount, because discount applied, right? Supplier has given some discount to us. Okay. If you are MBA, you can easily understand all this. But anyway, not that much required. So how to identify the tables behind this? Same way. About this page, then we have to go to, there is a business component, reference details, and then these are all the views. Okay. Now, next last step here is in this cycle, that is transfer to GL. This is the last stage it is. Transfer to GL. If you do a create accounting automatically, that posting and it will happen. But I would like to transfer general entries to GL manually. There is a, sorry, it is wrong. Transfer general entries to GL. Your ledger name, today's date we have to give. Okay. Posting we'll see later. In O2C we have seen right already all this. I think I don't need to explain much, is it? Last step I don't need to explain much because you already done that. Do you remember the table names in GL in O2C? Correct. GLJ headers, GLJ lines, and GL balances. Okay, let's see this. Yeah, general import it's called. So O2C successfully, P2P successfully completed. In our course now, there is a back-to-back order. There is a flow is pending. Projects is also over, it seems, right? Now, the next step will be XML publisher, followed by conversions, and then workflow. These are all the major topics. Okay. And these are all tool oriented. You can easily understand. It will be interest also. Major work is cycles only. Yeah, that XML publisher is important nowadays. RDF just will touch base. Nowadays, if there is a need to create a new report, we have to use XML only, not RDF. RDF is just for customization, but still we'll discuss. So click on this general import. Some entries, these are all you may not understand. How many headers, lines, and all. Okay. Take this batch name straight away. From here, you take it. Go to GL, general ledger. Then inquiry, journal, batch name. So these are all the two entries here. One is invoice entry, other one is payment entry. Table names, I think I no need to explain much. GLJ batches, then GLJ headers. These are all line level information. Okay. So go to journals and post. This is the final step it is. Your P2P is over now. There is a checkbox, check. It is a postable. Sometimes you may see it is not postable, queryable. There are various other statuses. Any doubts, guys?
No, sir.
I'm closing the session now. If you have any queries, you can ask me now. P2P is over.
Do you have the question sheet for that? Like O2C, you gave some questions.
Yeah, I have like questions as well as answers also I have. Let me see.
Okay.
These are all the questions. Almost everything is covered. O2C, then workflow background process, parameters, how to submit that, how many line level statuses you know, how to display sales representative, all the information we can see. Okay, so
Yeah.
approximately we have on O2C only more than 50 questions are there.
Okay.
Well, if you go through all the 50 questions, then it will be useful for your work as well as for interviews. Okay.
This is for O2C only,
O2C,
or all
O2,
P2P, O2C.
P2P also we have. This is a P2P.
Yeah, we need P2P.
Both I'll send.
Okay. O2C I have actually.
Yeah,
P2P I don't
these
have.
are all the P2P related. See, these many are there.
Okay.
Any more queries, guys? Just last go here. Again, you have to inquire. Fine. So post it. So if you there is one more important, like earlier we have seen AR, SLA, GL, drill down query. Backtracking, we'll call it as a backtracking. Backtracking means from GL to SLA. If there is a issue in the invoice, from GL to SLA will come back, SLA to AR will come back. Like this, there is one more query also, that is AP. AP modules to then SLA GL. So all tables you know already, but only joins you need to remember. In AP side, three tables: AP invoice all, lines all, distributions all. XLA type, SLA side, these are all the tables. Okay. SLA means subledger accounting, but in the table format they have taken as a XLA.
X.
Don't get confused. SLA is
Okay.
subledger accounting only, but this is the table terminology. This is the application terminology. Okay, this drill down query it will be available. I'll just show you, or I'll send quickly. Any query you can take. Do you see SQL in this? Yeah. Now come here. You tell me any new table in this in the from class. Just check. Invoices all we have discussed. Transaction entity, events, headers, lines. So this we have not seen as of now. In O2C we have discussed, of course. So GL import references means whenever you are transferring to the GL from other modules. So at that time, this table is a major table. It is GL import references. And these are all GL tables, you know already. And this is just for project, okay? This extra columns not required. These are all the two related to project accounting. Yes, you can remove if you want. I'll remove that. This is the query. Okay, these are all. It looks lengthy because of these columns. This modified query, I'll share it with you. Okay. Now, how from GL we can come back here is there is a two columns here. So these two from XLA AE lines, GL SLing table, and then GL import references. From GL side, we have to come to GL import references first. Then these two columns. Okay. The next step. Next step is what it is. This AE header ID. XLA lines to AE header ID. We have seen XLA lines only, right? From this AE header ID. Then finally, we have to come to here XLA transaction details. In XLA transaction details, what you have to use? That is a entity ID. From XLA transaction entity, there is one more column. That is what it is. Source ID into one. From source ID into one to invoice ID. Again, show me from where we have to come. From GL import. Backtracking. This called as a backtracking. GL import references, GL SL link ID, GL SL link table. This is the first join. Okay. Then second one is what it is. AE header ID. Because we are still with the XLA lines only. Correct. That's a AE header ID. From AE header ID to event ID. So from event ID to there is one more source ID into one. That's it. Overall 4 drill down it is. Use this query. You can easily execute. These are all the columns I don't need to explain. Go to total. Okay, invoice, instead of invoice ID, I would like to take invoice num. So without this query, it will be incomplete. That's why I'm telling. If it will bore also, I have to explain. Invalid selection. We have removed some column names, right? That's why. Some extra queries we removed, right? I'll execute as this query. Then later I'll remove the unnecessary columns. So written. It should not take this much time. Yeah, it's fine. This is the complete query. It is giving 3 modules details. What are the AP module, subledger accounting module, and one more is GL module. So it has given the complete information. Supplier name, how the payment method, and what is the NR tax means non-recoverable tax, liability accounts. It's a good query. Okay. And on final last review, we'll see, and then we'll close the session. So I'm expecting it from you how we can backtrack once. Tell me please, so that I'll feel that you understood completely. So I'm highlighting with some color. Okay. Tell me from GL, from where exactly we have to start.
Descending table.
Which one? This one, right? This is correct. Then one more also, two columns here, not only table. There is this one also. Next level. Next is XLAE lines. Where exactly XLAE lines here, right? Correct. Now what next? AE header to XT. XT where it is? Right, correct. Entity ID. Yes. Then after that, source ID into one. Exactly same column. It may be vary also into one, but many project into one only they will take. Into also we can take. It's flexible field. Correct. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is called as a backtracking from GL to, or we, in other words, we'll call it as a drill down also. Okay, guys, it's a lengthy session. Sorry for that. Guys, I'm closing session. Did you understand the drill down? Online, no one is replying. I don't know.
Can you please repeat me once?
I repeated 3 times anyway. So
But we confused when you're telling us.
yeah, correct. So I am asking you from GL to AP, we have to come back. There are 3 modules. One is GL module, subledger accounting module, and AP module. So initial today, what we discussed, we created invoice in AP, then subledger accounting in XLA, then transfer to GL, right? But right now it is a reverse direction. We went to invoice subledger accounting GL, right? But if we get error, that error we have to backtrack from GL to XLA, XLA to the AP. So that's why I have highlighted with the colors here. So this is the GL module table, and this is a subledger accounting table. These are all the common joins already there. Then now whatever the table Ali has this if you focus, you can easily understand. XLA AE lines to AE headers, AE headers to XLA events, then events transaction entities to invoice ID. So whatever highlighted with the color, that you focus. Is that clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm closing the session. Please go through it today.
Thank you.
Yeah.